Kia ora. There is a lot to learn about life in New Zealand, known by Maori as Aotearoa or the land of the long white cloud. The Kiwi nation certainly does have a lot of long white. These go well with their long white beaches and long white mountains. I have picked the most important things that any newcomer to New Zealand should know about from the slang and sheeps and the set. So number one, there aren't really many people in New Zealand. So if you don't think humans are great company, New Zealand will be perfect for you. In a country that's about 20,000 square kilometers larger than UK, there are only about 4.8 million people. For some people, that means lonely, and for others, it's a wonderful people-free. But there are many sheep. That's right, for every one New Zealander, there are about 6 sheep. The total number of these woolly creatures is nearly 30 million. So any sheep uprising the Kiwis would really have no chance. They would get a sound bleating. New Zealanders have a very special accent. The New Zealand accent can be pretty confusing for newcomers. A Kiwi can sound Australian, South African and American in the space of 5 words. If you are moving over here, you should forget everything you have ever learned about vowel sounds. For example, the whole world of confusion may start from here. The bed, B-E-D, sounds like bed, B-I-D, tin, T-E-N, sounds like T-I-N, tin. New Zealanders have some special slang as well. You don't need to learn a new language to live in New Zealand, but knowing some of the Kiwi lingo might be helpful. Some of the examples are over here. If the New Zealander says, yeah, nah, that means no thank you. If they say, nah, yeah, that means it's yes. Some people might say, it's quite common for the people to say, no worries. So that means no problem. And if you go to a restaurant or a coffee shop and if you ask for a ketchup, the people might be surprised what you're asking for. Here they say it is tomato sauce. And for a sweater, these guys say jumper. Yes, barefoot is fine. We all know shoes are just horrible food prisons. They cost money, the smell, they can give you blisters, and nobody likes the dilemma of choosing which to wear. The Kiwi solution is just not to wear anyway. Over in New Zealand, some people step straight out of the house with nothing on their feet, and it's perfectly normal. You will see folk wandering the street, supermarkets, and cafes just totally barefoot and without care in this world. Yes, the weather is very unpredictable. New Zealand might be fairly close to the hot and sunny land of Australia, but Kiwi weather is very different. Not only are the temperatures much less extreme than they are in Australia, but it is also possible to have 4 seasons in one day. This saying was created by drama queens who like to exaggerate a bit. But what they really mean is that it can be sunny one moment and rainy by the next, which any Brit or other people should know. Unfortunately, it's the Aussies and the Kiwis who are paying the price. The ozone layer is much thinner over in New Zealand, which means there is a dangerous amount of ultraviolet radiations whenever the sun shines. So if you're in New Zealand, even if the sunlight doesn't feel very hot, you should still protect yourself properly. On the hottest days, we would advise nothing less than a full suit of armor and a parasol. Thanks, the companies are earning a lot because of sunscreen lotions in the market. You will find amazing landscape everywhere. If there was a beauty pageant for countries, the New Zealand would probably win. It's almost dangerously breathtaking. The country is spectacular from end to end, and about 1/3 of it is made up of protected national parks. That means it won't be turning into hotels and car parks at any time soon. And if you like freakishly colorful hot mud pools, check out Waitopo on the North Island, while the South Island is home to the world famous Milford Sound, icy mountains, forest, vast lakes and wide beach. You are always near a beach. At literally any moment in New Zealand, you are never more than 128 kilometers, that's about 80 miles away from a beach. Obviously, beware of sandflies, but unfortunately it won't give you any disease, it will just itch. The best way to defeat them is with the wind and cold weather, so winter trips to New Zealand are the best advisable for tourists. The kiwi fruit is actually Chinese. We all been fooled by a bit of marketing which has happened 50 to 70 years ago by the Americans. Once the Americans started to buy the fruit from New Zealand in 1950s, the US importers decided that the name Chinese gooseberry just won't fly. They tried the cute sounding melon at first before settling on a kiwi fruit named after New Zealand native kiwi bird. And here we are today, still being sold this fruity lie. Rugby is massive. All Blacks were born and they toured England, absolutely battering the English in their own game later onwards. Over a century later, the All Blacks still dominate the sport, beginning every international game with a world-famous haka war dance. This clearly terrifies the hell out of everyone because most opponents can't find a way to beat the All Blacks.